Well guys, I'm back from SHOT Show and I had a blast. My plan going down there was to do videos kind of like everybody else is doing, where I showcase the new item and I tell you all about it and how wonderful it is and all the features and all the goodies and everything like that. But when I got there, you know, I walked in day one and I had this plan of attack and I was going to do this stuff. And then I walked through the doors and I was just blown away by the scale of SHOT Show. It's huge. And my plans, well laid out, well, sort of well laid out, went straight out the window. And I recorded a bunch of stuff, but it just didn't come out the way I like it. So I don't know, I might throw some of that into this video. I don't know. I mean, I walked around the show and I was trying to record, and I had a couple vendors and manufacturers give their spiel, you know, like, hey, here's the scope and it's a wonderful thing and everything. But I'm watching it, and even while I'm, yeah, I know, and he's happy to see me. When I got home late at night, he'd me out for about an hour, dude. Just wouldn't shut up. Anyway, those interviews and that, you know, bringing products to you guys, it turned into kind of a commercial.
These are built off the same chassis that have been in the Sidewinder line for years, durable, stable, and reliable, and now we've created a first focal plane for both of those scopes. And the beauty of it is both of the Sidewinder.
That's not my style. That's not me. I don't like doing that. So I'm going to take a different route here. And I'm going to say, you know, I guess this is more towards, if you ever have a chance to go to SHOT Show, kind of making a plan and doing all that, and just going through my experience as a first timer at SHOT Show. You don't know what to expect when you go down there. If you're a first timer, you're like, you know, you do a little bit of research and you start looking at stuff and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Well, that's great. And if you're going to make a plan and you're a YouTuber and you're doing reviews and stuff like that, then, you know, definitely have a plan of attack and be ready and focused on day one to implement that plan of attack, because it's so easy to get lost in the grandeur, if you will, of SHOT Show and, you know, the confusion and stuff. But for you guys that haven't been there, it's really a unique atmosphere. If you've ever been to a gun show, the gun shows, you know, it tends to be people, you know, clamoring over one another almost. And they're trying to buy stuff. They're trying to get to that counter and they get their widget and they want it and they want to buy it and move on and find that great deal, and they're back and forth and all that. There's nothing really there's nothing to buy at SHOT Show. And, you know, I mean, I say that there's nothing to buy, but there's, you know, multi-thousand million-dollar deals going on in closed-door meetings at SHOT Show. So there is buying and selling, but it's not that consumer retailer type atmosphere. And, you know, you don't feel like you have to wear earplugs, you know, just to, you know, hear yourself think. So, oh, by the way, I got a new mic. If you guys dig it, let me know. If it sounds kind of funky, you know, let me know that too. But the atmosphere was unique. It was like a very dull, low roar. All 4 days I was there, just this low, dull roar, because people aren't screaming at one another and they're just talking. It's dealers and retailers and manufacturers, and they're talking to one another. They're saying, hey, you know, will I compliment your business? Will you compliment mine? Let's make a deal. Let's do that. And it was really cool to not to be part of that necessarily, but just to be around that atmosphere. Much different. One thing to remember at SHOT Show is swag. You know, free stuff. These guys want to get their name out there. These dealers, these retailers, they're you know, they'll hand you your card, whatever. They want you to take a pamphlet. They want you to take a pen. They want you to take a patch. How about a hat? You know, you want to have, not many hats are actually, I was surprised, but this was one. Not many hats. You know, and it's not really about that. But there is plenty of swag. So be prepared. Oh, bags from promoters of the show. I found this thing to actually be really nice. I was very happy to get this. So if you get to the show and you see these given out, you know, get one, because it really does make it nice. Contacts, you know, I mean, business cards and patches and more business cards, and then my own business cards where I'm writing notes. And you know, you want business cards? Yeah, plenty of them there. Patches. Oh, so you tie air guns down there. Hey guys, you know, your favorite gun, it's gonna be there. Like I said, get one of these if you can. They were giving out bags. Get a bag, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna want to take some of this stuff back home with you and do research later on. So you're gonna want this stuff. You might be able to snag yourself a free product or two, like I did, even some beef jerky. But I guess what I'm really getting at, guys, is be careful with the swag. You can end up with a bag full of stuff every single day if you want. I mean, and it's paperwork and it's stuff and things, and just, I don't want to say garbage. It's not garbage, because, you know, I was selective in the books I was picking up. You know, and I'm a sticker fiend, so I was picking up stickers like crazy. But I was very selective. Like, I don't want to pick up your product guide if I'm never going to really look at it. It's just going to go up the chimney in the fireplace. So for me, I was very selective on the books I picked up. And a lot of these were, like I started out saying, it was about having that info about the product so I could bring it to you guys. And then, you know, when I got to thinking about it and actually trying to do it, it was just like, man, this is a commercial. I don't want to bring you guys a commercial. But just be careful. I mean, really, you know, it's neat to have a pen that has your favorite brand name on it, but how many pens do you really need? You know, I mean, so the real thrill of SHOT Show is getting to see all the new products that are about to be released, and you know, upcoming, and you know, concepts. And you know, you pick a, like, say, an airgun concept up off the wall and you can handle it. I mean, they're all dead in there, so you don't have to worry about like a shot going off or anything like that. But when you pick it up off the wall and you're looking at it and you're like, man, this thing's kind of ugly. Well, yeah, it's ugly because it's a prototype. It's concept, you know. I mean, the lines are not fine. And it's just neat to handle that. For me, anyway, I really dig handling, like, the concept. Stand by, the cat wants something. All right, now that he's taken care of. And, you know, not only is it handling those concepts, those prototypes, but it's also meeting the people behind the products that you are a fan of, that you enjoy using. And even the ones that you don't enjoy using, and meeting the faces behind the retail outlets that you shop at, and being able to shake hands. Oh, and I don't have it out here, but by the way, if you do go to SHOT Show, you will be shaking a lot of hands, so grab yourself some hand sanitizer, because, man, oh man, there's a lot of handshaking going on. Don't be afraid to step up to somebody and say, you know, hi, you know, tell me about your thing. I mean, that's why they're there, is to promote themselves, promote their products. They want to talk to you. One of the highlights of my SHOT Show experience was walking by the Accutac booth. And it was a little busy, and I walked by. And Accutac makes bipods. They make a bunch of different bipods. And I did a review a while back about the Accutac, their big one, their big wide stance one, FC5 maybe, versus the Atlas 5H, which is their big monster bipod. And I picked on both of them. And there's things about the Atlas I don't like. One of them is price. There's things about the Accutac I don't like, but I also complimented on the things I do like. So I wasn't really overly nitpicky, but I said, this is an issue I see that could be improved upon. And so I walk by the booth, and I notice them, I look over, and I keep walking. And it was busy. So I turn around, I come back like a minute or two later, and the lady, I think she was maybe a marketing lady, I'm not sure. She looked right at me, and she said, I was wondering if you were going to come back. And I'm like, you know, you talking to me? Who am I, right? And I was like, you know me? And she's like, oh yeah, you did the review. And so I didn't end up, I ended up going with the Atlas versus the Accutac, and I was like, oh boy, and what she said was, we watched your review and we really liked it. We really liked how you did that. We really liked that, and we took that, what you said, to heart. And it was like, oh, really? That's really cool. And it was a real pat on the back. And she said, yeah, the owner's right over there, and he watched it and he really liked your review as well. And I ended up talking to these guys for about a half an hour. The owner in particular, I just stood and we just went back and forth. He said how much he appreciated what I did. And I said, your product's really good in certain areas. And I'm really glad that you took what I said to heart. And because of, I don't want to say because of my video, but my video played into a lot of other things, and these guys are listening to the reviewers out there on YouTube that are not, you can't be like a reviewer and say, I don't like it because it's black. I mean, come on. You can't do that. But I think I was picking on the legs in particular or something. I saw that it was, this is really impressive. This needs a little bit of work. They take that information to heart and they say, okay, the next model is going to be better because we're going to address this issue and we're going to make it better. And I know Accutac in particular, from talking to him so long, he's got products that are, not yet released. They're coming out and they've made improvements. And I'm really excited to see that. One more thing that really helped me at SHOT Show, and it was critical to my experience there, was the app. The coolest thing about it was that it had this mapping feature, and you could search. You could say, okay, I'm looking for Humorex, and say type it in and says Humorex. Yes, that's the booth I want to go to. And then you hit this little thing. It looked like a little figure 8, but it was a mapping feature. And you hit that, and then it pops up, and it says, well, where are you now? And so you look over and you say, well, I'm by Accutac. And you type it in and it says, Accutac is at the booth. Bingo, you got it. And it routes you. It gives you an arrow. It says, go down this way, go down that way, go over there. And it'll bring you right to it. And it made it so much easier than having, say, a paper map, which they were handing out at the show too. But it made it so much easier to have that. And not only that, but it also lets you highlight. So before the show, I was looking up different manufacturers. I know I want to go see Daystate. I want to go see Caliber Gun. I want to go see all these different names and brands. And so I look them up, and then you can highlight it and star it. And on the map, it shows you it's this like yellow box. And so you can just, punch it on the map, and it'll pull it up. And then you can go through the mapping feature, and you can just go bing, 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 bing. And you can just hit all your hot points very quickly. It's so easy to get lost. It is so easy. I don't know how many times I found myself kind of like, I would go around and I'm like walking, and all of a sudden I find myself over here. And then the next day I'm walking around and I'm going around, and all of a sudden I find myself over here. And and I was like, I'm here again? What is going on? And I'll tell you guys something else. Day one, I walked around, I'm like, wow, this place is huge. But I think I've been to most areas except for, maybe law enforcement and, this other section over here. I kind of walked the perimeter. But on day two, I remember walking around, I think it was day 2, maybe day 3, but I was walking around and I walked through these doors, and I look around and I'm like, what the heck is this? I have never been here. Where am I? And it was, the same thing. It was all SHOT Show. It's not like I went through some door I wasn't supposed to go through, but it's still SHOT Show. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? So here's a whole nother section I got to walk around. And it was a lot of fun. But definitely, if you're going to one of these type of shows, if you're going to IWA, whoo, good for you. I think it's critical to download the app, learn how to use it beforehand, before you get to go. I'll tell you what, guys, it's exhausting. You know, it's like critical component is download the app. Another critical component, bring painkillers. You know, I'm not kidding. When you're walking for and standing and talking for 10 hours, I mean, and your only break is lunch, and you're just, you know, by lunchtime, your feet hurt. Wear comfortable shoes. Your back hurts. Get some pills on board. You know, your knees are hurting from walking so much. And, you know, I'm in pretty decent shape. I'm a fireman, and, you know, we work out every time I go to work. It's part of my routine. I work out. And so I'm in good shape, but man, walking like that and being on your feet all day like that is tough, man. It beats you up. And by the time you get done with SHOT Show, I think it ended at 4:30 every day, something like that. By the time you get back to your hotel room, you just fall into bed. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so done. And it's Vegas. I mean, the nightlife in Vegas is good. But, you know, honestly, I didn't gamble a dime while I was down there. Not one penny did I gamble. And, you know, I'm all right with that. I was there not to gamble. I was there for SHOT Show. So that's my experience of SHOT Show. I loved it. I had such a great time getting beat up every day by walking around and seeing people I knew, meeting people meeting new people in the industry and shaking hands and saying, how do you do? And so guys, I said this in my AOA blog, and I'm going to say it again on video. It is really an exciting time to be part of airgunning right now. The past couple of years and this year is no different. The manufacturers are really catching up to what we're saying we want. I saw so many regulators, you know, slapped inside guns. And I don't say slapped like they were just tossed in there. These guys, they want you to buy their products, so they're doing the best they can to bring it to you how you want it. And seeing that in such a big push throughout the whole industry is really speaking volumes about, you know, like the forums and YouTube and, you know, different outlets and Facebook and Instagram, you know, all that stuff is collectively improving the industry. And, you know, keeping that conversation going, and guys going out there and kind of going out on a limb and experimenting and doing stuff on their own has really shown the industry, like, this stuff's important to us. This is what we want to see you do, and we want to see you do it in an affordable way. So it's just really cool to see the other side. You know, the manufacturers listening. My cat's up in the ceiling, so where he went. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching, and happy shooting.